Versatile Mage. Chapter 139. The Fourth Element. It seemed like there was no color to it. After Mo Fan carefully examined it, he realized that this element actually had no color whatsoever. It was transparent. The reason why he could see it was because he was able to sense the outline of its stardust within the chaotic area. However, it was very close to being invisible. If it was to be described with a color, then it would be the radiance it occasionally emitted, the color of the moon. What element was this? Mo Fan was momentarily unable to make a determination. Are you done? The apprentice, Xiao Mian, opened the door without permission. She saw that Mo Fan had finished awakening a long time ago, thus she began to pout. If you're done, come out. There's going to be a magician coming here to awaken at the recommendation of the magic court. Please don't, eh? How come the element you awakened is colorless? The young apprentice Xiao Mian was surprised as she looked at the awakening stone. On the other side of the room, Guo Liu immediately stood up as he heard his apprentice's astonishment. He ran over to the awakening room and peeked inside. When he discovered the awakening stone didn't have any color, yet there was an occasional flicker of moonlight, his face was filled with shock. What kind of luck does this second generation have? He actually awakened the summoning element. The vast majority of people would only awaken a classical element as their first element. Those who awakened white magic, black magic, or dimensional magic could be considered as being favored by the heavens. After all, the first awakening's element was the major cultivation. Elements of major cultivation provided magicians an increased amount of time to cultivate and practice, making them far more proficient compared to those with a secondary or minor cultivation element. Guo Liu originally thought that if this person awakened a lightning element, he would go back home with honor in his hands. Who would have thought that he would have changed to dark element at the last second, and while that failed, he got a summoning element out of it. According to the rules, the first awakening being a classical element was the most common. The next most likely would be either black magic or white magic, and the least probable would be dimensional magic. Magicians with a summoning ability for their first element would enjoy unlimited benefits from major powers as long as they were willing to accept. Their rarity and value were far too high. This is the summoning element. Humph, kid, the 100,000 RMB your family spent on you sure was worth it. The corner of Guo Liu's mouth twitched as he spoke to the dumbstruck Mo Fan. Mo Fan gasped as he looked at Guo Liu with an unconvinced face. Summoning element. It was actually the summoning element. Even today, Mo Fan could not forget the amazing scene of Chief Zhangkong's subordinate calling the skyhawks flying through the sky of Bo City. That seemed to be the summoning element. He had always imagined himself one day mounting an awesome beast and landing in the streets. Who would have thought that he was now unexpectedly closer to that dream? This happiness came far too suddenly. If Tang Yu were here, Mo Fan would endure the danger and hug her before giving her a couple of kisses. Speaking of which, if he told that old scoundrel Mu Juoyan about awakening the shadow and summoning elements, would he package his beautiful Mu Ningzhu and present her to him? That seemed equally possible. Where else would you find a son-in-law with 4 elements? All right. Since you're done awakening, leave. I am busy. At the end of the day, Guo Liu was a busy person, so he began to wave Mo Fan away. Oh, thank you. Mo Fan only wanted to find a place to calm his state of mind. Even if you awakened a special element, if you don't put effort into your training, it'll still be useless. Furthermore, you're already relatively old. You're much slower than other people, so there is nothing to be excited about, Guo Liu said. As Mo Fan heard this, he felt as if cold water was poured over him. He didn't understand why Guo Liu would say he was old. According to Tang Yu, being able to reach the intermediate level at his age would still be considered incredibly impressive even in Shanghai. Could it be that Guo Liu's scope of people was even higher? Alright, the city of demons was the city of demons, after all. There were many strong people here, and even intermediate magicians couldn't be considered anything special. Mo Fan didn't say anything else and immediately left. As he walked out, the receptionist girl in her white qipao guided another fat youth who looked relatively old into the room. Mo Fan didn't care as he left excitedly. As Guo Liu saw this fatty, his face immediately broke into a smile. He greeted him and ordered Xiao Mian next to him to make tea. "Oh, you must be the intermediate magician that Tang Yu recommended. Your name was Mo Fan, right?" The fatty's face was blank. He pointed at his wrinkled nose and said, "My name is Yang Dahai." The youth who just left was Mo Fan, the receptionist quickly explained. The jaws of both Master Guo Liu and apprentice Xiao Mian dropped as they glanced at each other. The expressions on their faces couldn't be described with just a couple of words. After a moment, the apprentice finally regained her senses and weakly said, "Master, did we make a mistake?" Guo Liu's face was stiff as he nodded. "It seems like it. Then he was actually awakening his second element," Xiao Mian said. As expected of the ancient magic court, producing such a monster. An intermediate mage that young, awakening the summoning element on his second awakening. "I, Guo Liu, am thoroughly defeated." Guo Liu let out a long sigh. The receptionist didn't know what was going on between the master and the apprentice, so she simply went back to the hall. The fatty called Yang Dahai was also sitting there, completely confused about the situation. "Are you the kid from the Yang family that wants to awaken the lightning element?" Guo Liu asked as he glanced at the fatty. "That would be me," Yang Dahai replied, shaking the fat around his body. "Xiao Mian, bring him to the awakening room." "Master, didn't you tell me to go make tea?" "Make what? Don't waste my good tea," Guo Liu replied as he left to do his own work. Yang Dahai was completely dumbstruck. How come the happy and sincere awakening master suddenly looked as though I owed him 500,000 RMB? Did daddy give him too little money? Chapter end. Please guys, like, comment, share, and subscribe.